Good evening. Thanks for tuning in. Y'all watching, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. I decided I'm going to create a library, 10,000 books, a special library. Now what's inside of this library is all types of topics. So starting first will be a good foundation, a good base, real estate, the stock market. And, there outside of America, there are other financial money markets. Like, I think I was talking with this girl and she was saying that in the island it's called the cambio or the exchange, right? That's where they do basically their forex trading, so their currency tradings. That is always something to be used because although it is speculative, there is a profit center there, a mini profit center, so to speak, depending on how much capital you happen to have. Although advisors of mine have recommended no more than 10% of your total portfolio to be put into the exchanges themselves because they are of a speculative nature and they're mostly based off of lagging indicators. So you're following the market. So there will definitely be some knowledge and resources on that. Oh, and for you guys watching, you can kind of see it like right there, like on like the bottom, over my shoulder, but I have all my books in here now, and man, it looks really messy on video. Eventually it'll get like more organized as I get more books and stuff and pile them up, because 10,000 books is a lot. Well, no, it's not a lot. It's a library, and that's the point. So I'm gonna endow this library with 10,000 books. It's a world of knowledge. I mentioned that concept before. However, that knowledge will be used to train the people inside of my systems, people inside of my environment, to just, what are we promoting? What are we pushing? What our game is. So first, just start with real estate. Get a lot of content on that. And I'm sure there's content overseas about how the overseas markets work, like places where they speak French or Spanish or Arabic or Chinese, an understanding of those. Maybe I'll write a book in a foreign language, not translated, but written in that language, because thinking in a different language definitely does things to bring into context what words mean and what they don't mean. So the logistics of what's said, what's not being said, how it's said, why it's said, and then what emotion it's evoking while it's being said in the context of the string of words being issued by a given person or on a given piece of content, whether it's like media or a t-shirt or something, anything that can be read, right? Correct. So I'm gonna do that library. It'll take however much time it needs to take. If you guys want to send me books, I'm taking book donations for my special library. This is going to be a project which the community can definitely join in. I would love to get you guys' recommendations on what books. If you happen to send me a book, I'll probably do some book reviews and decide whether or not to include it in the library, because that's my ethics. The things I don't believe in or couldn't see the group us believing in won't be included. Like, that's why it's a special library. Like, I'm not going to include stuff that's quote unquote not about real estate in the special library because it's outside the context of it and outside the realm, right? So that's going to be fun. That's a huge undertaking. It feels like that now, but I'm sure as I like watch this video in the future, it'll be like, man, that was fun. Should probably do it again. Yeah. So there's that. Basically, tenant has moved in. I gave them the keys earlier today, so they're set up. They got a couple little knick-knack things minor things that need to be taken care of, which is simple. I'll do just some more paperwork just to finish up with that, my homework on doing that for that project, basically. So looking to get at least 100 homes, right? So as I'm managing this and my abilities to manage become greater, what I'm able to manage and exercise will also become greater. And the exercising is the daily ritual, right? I want to have enough energy left over out after the day, throughout the day, to bring me into the next day. So what that means is, if I'm expending energy throughout the day, I want to have so much energy that getting through the day itself is not tiring. In fact, that I could have gotten through 2 days with the current level of energy I have. And that is something that I have experienced in my body through physical exercise. So just building up my strength and just actually just being able to say like, hey, yeah, I feel strong. I feel like I have more energy after I work out, AKA the pump. So there's that. I know I like yoga. I'm gonna learn boxing. So those things I can do for mobility, power, flexibility, yeah, that area of things, like moving my body itself, as well as hitting the weights, lifting weights, and staying on that jump rope for the coordination. So I can kind of say that, shout out to my mentor, Ty Lopez. I have gone through and I'm at the happiness pillar. So he's got these 4 pillars in his modality of life: health, wealth, love, and happiness. Inadvertently, rather, I should say, I did happiness first. And I say I did happiness first because my food source is within walking distance. My occupation is within walking distance. All the resources I need to bring into my life are here. And one recommendation, which I highly suggest for everybody, he only mentions it like once or twice. I think only once. I don't even think it's recorded of him saying this, is to get a therapist. So for the past almost a year now, I've been going to a therapist every week religiously. And it has done wonders for my life, my psyche. So much so that my therapist was like, Cameron, you come over here and you don't need to come every single week. Y'all don't need to see you up here every week, because you have like what was once fragmented is more whole. So it's I'm not gonna be your crutch. So I was like, okay, again, I said this in a different video that shocked me, but yeah, so now that I have brought that into reality and experienced that, like, it's cleared out a lot of those bad relationships and giving me some viewpoints on what emotions are and how I can direct them in my life to create a better life for myself. So there is that. The topic or the word that comes to mind is Philosopher King. Shout out to Plato. He talks about this, and I've done a lot of I've looked up a lot of stuff on the internet, Wikipedia, about kings, right? So a lot of times when kings are conquering other nations, they would raid their libraries and they would take their libraries, because that's the storehouse, right? So it's called a storehouse for a reason. You got a store, which is where you buy and sell, do transactions, and you have a house, which is where the community is built, where you live, where you create life. So inside of that, creating life and actually transacting that's the storehouse, that's the library of the past. So someone lives on through their creations and they put it down in the media, which is in the library. So definitely look into, I've also heard that JP Morgan, he assembled a library after he traveled through much of Europe. And that could be one of the reasons why he's as successful as he is. You have a wealth of knowledge. You have a breadth of knowledge. And my Eulerian destiny is expanding synthesis of wealth accretion, asymbia, social cohesion, a plethora. He is a plethora of knowledge. So look forward to that. This video is getting kind of long, so I'm in this chapter here, and you guys watch the video and turn to the next page. So subscribe to the channel, like it, share this with somebody. I'm taking donations on books, send them my way. They'll get reviewed and yay or nay.